Hey guys, Melissa here from LovableLoops.com. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to crochet my owl hat pattern. I'm going to demonstrate how to do this in a toddler size. For this tutorial, you're going to need 2 crochet hooks, an H 5mm and an I 5.5mm. I love these clover hooks. I'll link to them below for you if you're interested. You're also going to need worsted weight yarn. You're going to need black and white for the eyes, and then you need to decide on a color for the body of the hat. I'm using this mint green color, and then I'm going to use a purple color for the accent of the eyes. So you'll need 4 colors total. For this tutorial, you're also going to need a tapestry needle and a pair of scissors. You'll need to know how to make a magic ring, how to double crochet, and how to single crochet. And if you don't know how to do any of those things, those tutorials are available on my channel. All right, to begin, for the body of the hat, we are going to use the larger hook, the I crochet hook, and we're going to be making the hat from the top down. So we're going to start with the very top. So what you're going to do is go ahead and make a magic ring. Then you're going to chain 2. And inside that magic ring, you're going to make 11 double crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, okay? I recommend at the end of every round that you count your stitches to make sure they're the correct amount, because if you make a mistake, it's easier to fix it as you go, okay? So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Be very careful that you don't ever count that chain 2 as a stitch, okay? It's not a stitch. Your first stitch is that first double crochet you made. To close this round, I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the top of that first double crochet. So just pull my yarn through. You can pull on that yarn tail to tighten the circle, okay? Now we're going to begin round 2. You're going to chain 2, and in that same stitch that you joined to, you're going to make 2 double crochet. The chain 2 at the beginning of your rounds will never count as a double crochet. So I have a chain 2, 2 double crochet. In that next stitch, I'm going to make 2 double crochet again. 1, 2. So your pattern for round 2 is 2 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. 1, 2. Oops. Okay, so every once in a while, because if you're like me, you'll daydream while you're crocheting, get back and make sure that you have 2 double crochet in each stitch, okay? At the end of round 2, you should have 22 stitches. Go ahead and count your stitches and make sure you do. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Okay, go ahead and close your round by joining with a slip stitch to the top of that first double crochet. Okay, so we've completed rounds 1 and 2. For round 3, chain 2, you're going to make 2 double crochet in that first stitch. In the next stitch, you're going to make 1 double crochet. So we have 2, 1. That is going to be your pattern all the way around. So in the next stitch, you repeat 2, and then 1 in the next stitch. I do 1, 2 in the next, and then 1. So 2, 1 all the way around. And I'll show you what that looks like. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, repeat that all the way around. All right. Okay, at the end of round 3, you should have 33 stitches. Go ahead and close your round by joining with a slip stitch to the top of that first double crochet. Okay, you can see round 1, round 2, round 3. To begin round 4, chain 2, and you're going to make 2 double crochet in that same first stitch. The same stitch that you joined to. Make your 2 double crochet in that first stitch for every round. Okay, so we have 2. Now in the next 2 stitches, you're going to make 1 double crochet. And that is your pattern for round 4. 2, 1, 1. So we'll do that again. 2, 1, 1. Next stitch 2 again. 1, 1, 2 again. 1, 1. You repeat that all the way around. At the end of round 4, you'll have 44 stitches. Go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the top of that first double crochet. All right, for round 5, you're now going to chain 2. You're going to make 2 double crochet in that first stitch. And now in the next 10 stitches, you're going to make 1 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 2 double crochet in the first stitch, 1 double crochet in the next 10 stitches. And you're going to repeat that 3 more times. So you'll do this this pattern of total of 4 times, which means that this round will be increased by 4 stitches. So my next stitch here, I make 2 double crochet again, followed by my 10 double crochet. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me double check that. My 2 double crochet, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I did 1 too many, so I'll just add another double crochet to this one to make my 2 double crochet since I have the 10. Okay, so there's the 2, and now in the next 10, I'll make 1 double crochet. Make 2 double crochet in the next stitch. And then in your last 10 stitches, you'll make 1 double crochet. Okay, at the end of your round, go ahead and join with a slip stitch. At the end of round 5, you'll have 48 stitches. Okay, so you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For round 6, you're going to chain 2. You'll make 2 double crochet in that first stitch. And then in the next 11 stitches, you're going to make 1 double crochet. have my 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so in that next stitch you're going to make 2 double crochet, and then you'll repeat this 3 more times. So 2 and then 1 double crochet in 11 stitches. Okay, I lost count. So here's my 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11. All right, so then in my next stitch here, I'll make 2 again. 1, 2, and then in the next 11 stitches, just make 1 double crochet. Okay, I have 11, so now 2 double crochet in this next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the remaining 11 stitches. All right, at the end of round 6, you'll have 52 stitches. Go ahead and join with the slip stitch. Okay, for round 7, you're going to chain 2 double crochet in that first stitch, and then in the next 12 stitches, you'll make 1 double crochet. Okay, 12, so then in the next stitch again, 2 double crochet. And then in the next 12 stitches, you'll make 1 double crochet. And of course, that's the pattern all the way around. That's 12, so 2 in my next double crochet, and then 12 double crochet. All right, at the end of round 7, you'll have 56 stitches. Go ahead and join with a slip stitch. For round 8, you're going to chain 2. You're going to make 2 double crochet in that first stitch. And then in the next 13 stitches, you're going to make 1 double crochet. This is the last round for the toddler size hat that we increase. How many I have here? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Great. So in the next stitch, I'm going to make 2 double crochet. And then again in the next 13 stitches, I'll make 1 double crochet. Okay, let's see here. There's my 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So I'll just add another double crochet to this stitch here. That's my 2 double crochet, and then again in the next 13 stitches, 1 double crochet. 22, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now 2 in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the remaining 13 stitches. At the end of round 8, you'll have 60 stitches. Go ahead and join with the slip stitch. Okay, so you can see here, we've been making the hat from the top down. So we have now reached the crown size that we need. So what we're going to do now for the toddler hat is to continue crocheting to build the length, okay? So what you want to do is you're going to continue crocheting until your hat reaches a length of approximately 7 inches. So my pattern that I have written says that for rounds 9 through 18, you're going to make 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around for each round, so that we are no longer increasing, okay? We have 60 stitches at the end of round 8. You're going to have 60 stitches at the end of every other round that you do until you reach 7 inches, okay? So I am going to say to go ahead and continue. So for round 9, what you'll do is you'll chain 2 like you have been, and then you'll make 1 double crochet in that first stitch and 1 double crochet in every stitch all the way around. Just 1, okay? And then stop either when you get to the row 18 or when you get to approximately 7 inches long, okay? And then I will meet back up with you to show you how to do the scallop trim along the bottom of the hat. Okay guys, so I ended up stopping after round 15. My hat length now is just under 7 inches, and with this final scallop trim round, it will definitely be the perfect length for a toddler size head. All right, so to do the final round for your hat, you're going to take your work. So I had just joined after I completed round 15. You're going to yarn over like you're going to double crochet. And so this is the stitch that we're currently, this is where we joined to. So you're going to skip, so this is the current stitch, skip the next stitch, and in the stitch after that, you're going to make 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, okay? You made your first scallop. Now we need to attach it. Skip that next stitch there, and in the next stitch after, you're going to slip stitch, just like that, okay? First scallop is made. So now, this is the stitch we're attached to. You're going to skip that next stitch, and in the stitch after that, you're going to make 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you've made your second scallop. This is the stitch that you're currently working in. Make sure this is focused. So this next stitch is the one that you're going to skip, and in this next stitch here, after the one you skip, you're going to slip stitch. And the slip stitch helps attach the scallop to the rim of the hat. Okay, so this is the stitch we're currently in. So skip the next one, and in the stitch after that, you're going to make 4 double crochet. looks like that. So this is the stitch you're working in. Skip the next one, and in this stitch here, you're going to slip stitch to attach the scallop to the hat. Okay, so you're currently attached to this stitch here. So you slip stitch here. So this next stitch you skip, and in the stitch after that, you'll make 4 double crochet. 2, 3. Okay, so I'll skip a stitch, slip stitch, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Okay, skip a stitch, slip stitch, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet. Skip a stitch, slip stitch, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet. Skip a stitch, slip stitch, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet. Skip a stitch, slip stitch, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet. Skip a stitch, slip stitch, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet. Skip a stitch, slip stitch, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet. Okay, skip a stitch, slip stitch, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet. Skip a stitch, slip stitch, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet. Skip a stitch, slip stitch, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet. Skip a stitch, slip stitch, and then when you get to the end, you're going to have to make a decision because it's just not going to work out perfectly. So in this case, I wouldn't skip a stitch after. I only have 3 stitches left, so I'm going to work a shell into that stitch and then slip stitch here to join. So I'm not going to skip over one, I'm going to squeeze one in there. So you can either slip stitch again over here to join, but I think I'd prefer to fit one more shell in. And it will look a little different, but that's okay. It's the back of the hat where the seam is. No one is ever going to notice that. 3, 4, and then I'll just join in that space there where the first shell was. Okay, so you can, if you're looking for a mistake or where the pattern looks a little different, you can see they're a little closer together here. This one's kind of squeezed in, but it's okay. It's not the front of the hat. All right, so you are done now with that. You can go ahead and cut your yarn and use that tapestry needle to weave your yarn ends in, your yarn tail ends. Well, don't know what I did there. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to make the ears, the eyes, and the beak for your owl hat. Okay, so we are going to switch to our H 5mm crochet hook. Okay. And you are going to need your black yarn, your white yarn, and then whatever color yarn you're using for the accent for the eye color, I guess. I'm going to use purple because I think it goes nicely with this mint green color. So you're going to use your H hook. You're going to begin with the black yarn. Now maybe you might want to make note of the time on the video or jot this down for yourself as you go. I'm only going to make one eyeball on camera. You're going to obviously need to make two, unless you want a one-eyeballed owl. Okay. I have a knot here. I'm going to trim this out. And I will warn you, black yarn is very hard to see on camera, the individual stitches, so you apologize. Okay, make a magic ring. And again, you're using that H crochet hook. And the reason I use a smaller hook is because I want the eyeballs to be, you know, the stitches to be closer, more condensed together, not as stretchy with room for light between them, because it just looks cuter. All right, so I made a magic ring, chain 2, and then you're going to make 9 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So that is round 1 of the eyeball. You're going to go ahead and join with a slip stitch in the top of that first double crochet. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Again, it's hard to see. Okay. Now you're going to switch to your accent color. And again, I'm using purple. So to attach the purple yarn, you've made your slip stitch here, right? So you're just going to put the yarn on your hook and pull it through. And everything will feel a little loose at first, but once you get going, you can tighten everything. For round 2, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to make 1 single crochet. Excuse me, 2 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So the reason we're doing single crochet instead of the double crochet is because the stitch height is smaller. So a double crochet is taller. Each stitch is taller. A single crochet is about half that. And because it's just the accent color for the eye, I don't want it to show up too much. So in that first stitch, the same one that you joined to, go ahead and make 2 single crochet. Okay, and then in each remaining stitch all the way around, you'll make 2 single crochet, which means at the end of round 2, you'll have 18 single crochet. Count them real quick. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and then 2 in this last stitch here. Okay, All right, so you are done with round 2. Go ahead and tighten everything up and then join with the slip stitch to that first single crochet. Okay, now for round 3, you are going to switch to your white yarn. So grab your white yarn. And you're going to join it the same way. And again, remember, everything will be a little loose at first, but you'll be able to tighten it up. So pull your white yarn through. You're going to chain 2. Remember, you can tighten that purple up in just a moment. Okay, and then for round 3, in the first stitch, you're going to make 2 double crochet. 1, 2. Okay, go ahead and flip it over and tighten everything. I know if you're like me, it'll drive you crazy that it keeps unraveling like that. And you can also cut the eye color and the black. You don't need those attached anymore. Okay, so for round 3, I just made my first 2 double crochet. So in the next stitch now, I am going to make 1 double crochet. Okay, and then in the next stitch, I'm going to make 2 double crochet. 1, 2, and then in the next stitch, I will make 1. So 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet. That is your pattern all the way around. All right, at the end of round 3, you're going to have 27 stitches. Go ahead and join with a slip stitch. Okay, you can go ahead and tighten everything up. And then for round 4, you're going to chain 2. You'll make 2 double crochet in that first stitch. 1. And then in the next 2 stitches, you'll make 1 double crochet. 1, and then 1 again. Okay, so 2, 1, 1. That is going to be your pattern all the way around for round 4. All right, at the end of round 4, you're going to have 36 stitches. Go ahead and join with a slip stitch. So for sizes 0 3 months through 6 12 months, I would stop here. On my blog, my pattern for the larger sizes has you doing, so for like the toddler, child, adult size hat, you would do one more round. I'm not sure. I'm thinking actually I like the size here for the toddler hat. So I'm going to stop there and I'll go ahead and adjust that pattern on my website. But go ahead and make 2 of these eyeballs and stop at round 4. So you're going to stop here. You have 36 stitches. Now when you cut your white yarn, make sure you cut enough that you leave enough for you to sew it onto your hat, okay? So leave a nice long yarn tail because you're going to need that for when you sew it on. And now we're going to go ahead and cut a piece of white yarn to create that eye sparkle, which I think adds a lot to the hat and makes it look really cute. You're just going to cut a piece of white yarn like that and then thread it onto your tapestry needle. And then you're going to just find a spot here in the black area where, you know, you don't want the white touching the purple at all. So find a spot in the black area where you can weave the white yarn back and forth a few times just to make a thick little white area, just like that. When you have 2 of them, it looks like eye sparkle. Okay, and on the back you can just tie it once or twice and just clip the ends. It's not gonna go anywhere. Not gonna unravel, just like that. Make sure you don't tie it too tight. Okay. With the black and the purple, just go ahead and weave those ends in, and the only piece that you're gonna need is this long white piece to sew the eyeball on, okay? So you are making 2 of those. I'm gonna set that aside for now. And now I'm going to show you how to make the ears. Okay, again, you're going to continue on with that H 5mm crochet hook, but you are going to need your the body color. So I'm going to need the mint green color again, the hat color. All right. For the first row, now the ears, the hat and the eyes are worked in rounds. You're crocheting in the round. The ears and the beak are worked in rows, okay? So you're going to make a slip knot, and then you're going to chain 9. I made that yarn tail too long. Okay. I have my slip knot on my hook. Chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're going to skip that first chain, and in the second chain here, you're going to single crochet. The reason we skip that first chain is because we need a chain to help give the height of the single crochet. So that's a turning chain. For single crochet, you have 1 turning chain. If you were doing double crochet, you would need 2 of those because you need to get to the height for the row. If you're going to have a row of single crochet, it needs to be the correct height in the beginning. So there's our first single crochet, and then in each of those remaining chains, you're going to make a single crochet. So we had 9 chains. We skipped over 1, which means we will end up with 8 single crochet. Sorry if this is going out of focus. Okay, so you have your row here. Straighten it out. It's going to want to curl on you a little bit. Okay, so here's my first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because remember, we skipped 1 chain, okay? So you're going to have 8. Go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. Now, in these first 2 single crochet here, you're going to single crochet them together. So insert your hook into the first single crochet, pull the yarn through, insert your hook into the next single crochet, pull the yarn through again. So you'll have those 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull it through all 3 loops. So you turned those 2 single crochet into 1. Then you're going to single crochet once in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You should have 2 remaining stitches there. You can see 1, 2. You're going to single crochet those together. So insert your hook into the first stitch and pull the yarn through. And then insert your hook into the second stitch and pull your yarn through. You're going to have to maneuver it on there. It won't be as easy to grab. Yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops. Okay? So that's row 2, and you should have 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 1 and turn your work. You are going to single crochet once in each stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you just completed row 3 and you still have 6 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. For row 4, you're going to single crochet 2 together. So insert your hook, pull the yarn through, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so you decreased. You made 2 single crochet, turn into 1. In the next 2 stitches, you're just going to single crochet 1, 2, and in those last 2 stitches, you're going to single crochet them together. Okay, you now have 4 single crochet. For row 5, chain 1, turn, and you're going to single crochet once in each of those 4 stitches. Okay, chain 1, turn. Row 6, you're going to single crochet together twice. So once, 1 single crochet, you have 2 stitches left, and then make another single crochet. Excuse me, single crochet 2 together. Let me start that over, I apologize. Okay, so you have just completed row 5 where you made 1 single crochet in each stitch. Fix this. Okay. All right, sorry about that. Row 6, you are going to single crochet 2 together 2 times. So you make 1 single crochet 2 together. So that's also called a decrease. So turn those 2 single crochet into 1 and then single crochet 2 together again. 1, 2, okay. There you go. You now have 2 stitches at the end of row 6. For row 7, chain 1, turn, and you're going to single crochet once in each stitch. So at the end of row 7, you still have 2 stitches. Chain 1, turn, and then single crochet those 2 stitches together. You now have 1, and now you're just going to continue to single crochet around the entire shape. Okay, so I'm just going to single crochet around the border and just find spaces to fit your crochet hook. Don't do it too tightly. I'm going to single crochet all the way around. get back to the top, go ahead and join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet you made. Okay. All right, go ahead and cut your yarn. Leave enough yarn because you're going to need it to sew the ear onto the hat. Okay, so this is going to be the tip of your ear here. And what we want to do is we want to get this yarn down here because we want to use it to sew the ear onto the hat. So here's what you're going to do. Thread that yarn onto your tapestry needle. And you'll notice that your beginning yarn from your chain is over here on one side. It's on this side. For me, it's the right. So I'm going to weave this yarn tail back and forth so that it comes out on the opposite side, so that when I sew the hat, sew it onto the hat, I can use the yarn tails coming from different directions to help keep it so the ear sticks up. Okay, so go ahead and just, you don't want to pull it tight because you don't want it to like scrunch the shape. Just loosely have it work that yarn down to the other opposite corner. Okay, all right, there we go. All right, you can take that yarn off of your hook, off of your tapestry needle. So now you have the ear prepared to sew onto the hat. Now what I did for mine was I took a small piece of the hat color. So in this case, that's my mint green. And then some of the accent color from the eye, which is purple. And then about like 4 or 5 inches. If you're not sure how long you want the little pieces on the ear to be, you can always trim them later. So cut one piece of each, just like that. And then I threaded them onto my tapestry needle. Okay, just like that. And then I just attached them to the top of the ear by pulling one end through and then tying them in a knot. And you might need to tie them a couple times. Okay, and then you trim them. Okay, I thought it gave it a really cute look and it was really quick and simple. Okay, so you're going to make 2 of these, okay? So 2 eyeballs, 2 ears, and now I'm going to show you how to crochet the beak. Okay, I did forget to mention this at the beginning of the video, so I will have made sure that I made a note of it, but when I was telling you your yarn colors, I failed to mention that you're also going to need a color for your beak. Now what you're going to want to do is use a shade of yellow or gold or orange, anything that complements the colors you have already chosen. So I think that this color looks really nice with the mint green and the purple, so I'm going to use this. It's kind of like a light gold cornmeal color. Okay, so for your beak pattern, you'll use whatever shade of yellow, orange, or gold you wish to use. And again, we're going to use the H crochet hook. And we're working this also in rows, not rounds. Go ahead and make a slip knot and then chain 9. 1, 2. Okay. Now you're going to skip that first chain, and then in the second chain, just like you did for the ears, you're going to make a single crochet and then single crochet in the remaining chains. So you will end up with 8 single crochet. Okay, so that's row 1. For row 2, you're going to chain 1 and turn. It is quite possible that when I wrote my pattern, it is the same as the ears. I just don't remember, so I'm going to walk you through it. Okay, so chain 1, turn. You're going to start with single crocheting 2 together. So insert your hook, pull your yarn through, and then insert your hook again in the next stitch, pull your yarn through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. So you turned 2 single crochet into 1. In the next 4 stitches, you'll make 1 single crochet in each. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll have 2 single crochet left, 2 stitches there. You're going to single crochet those together. The last one's always kind of tricky to get on your hook. Okay. Alright, so you turned those 2 stitches into 1. So at the end of row 2, you're going to have 6 stitches, chain 1 and turn. And then you're going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch. So you'll end up with 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. At the end of row 3, you'll still have 6 stitches, of course. Go ahead and chain 1 and turn. For row 4, you're going to single crochet 2 together. Then you're going to single crochet once into the next 2 stitches. And then for the last 2 stitches, you're going to single crochet them together. So at the end of row 4, you're going to have 4 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. And for row 5, you're just going to single crochet once into each stitch. 2. So at the end of row 5, you still have 4 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. For row 6, you're going to single crochet 2 together twice, okay? So 1, 2, turn those 2 into 1. I have 2 stitches left. I'm going to single crochet them together. Okay. At the end of row 6, you have 2 stitches, chain 1, turn. You're going to single crochet once in each stitch for row 7, so you'll have 2 still remaining. And this actually is turning out to be just like the ear pattern. Chain 1, turn, and for row 8, you're going to single crochet them together. Okay, and now, again, you're going to just continue to single crochet all the way around the shape. And I do that because I feel like it gives the piece a nice finished look rather than just leaving it like that. That doesn't look very finished. If you compare the two, this looks much more finished. Okay, so just single crochet all the way around. I love this owl pattern because I feel like it's super cute and there's really not too many pieces to make and sew onto the hat, and they're very straightforward. Since the eyes are so big, they take up so much of the face, and it gives it a really cute look without making a ton of work for you. And of course, when you get to the end, go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. And then make sure you leave yourself a nice yarn tail to use to sew onto the hat, okay? You want to go ahead. You don't want those stitches to be too tight, so go ahead and make sure that you can get the piece to lay flat. If you have a hard time getting it to lay completely flat, and it's bothering you, what you can do is use your iron. You're going to want to put a piece of cloth over top of your crochet work and then just gently flatten it. I do usually once from each side, okay? All right, so now you should have 2 eyeballs. We made 1 together. You should have 2 ears, and again, I made 1 of those with you, and your beak. So now what you're going to do is use your tapestry needle to sew your pieces onto your hat. And I'm going to give you a few tips. So I'm not actually going to sew them on camera because that's pretty straightforward. But with the positioning of everything, I wanted to show you. I sewed my beak down first. So what I did was I made sure first that the seam of my hat was in the back, okay? So go ahead and make sure that that is in the back. And then you're going to want to find what is going to be the midpoint of your hat. So like right here for me is where I would place the tip of the beak, okay? And then I would make sure that as I use my tapestry needle and sew all the way around, you want to make sure you're only sewing through one part of the hat. You don't want to accidentally go through two because you'll have to take everything apart. And then just make sure that it's laying nice and flat. So as you go around, you don't want to pull too tight, but you also don't want it to be too loose, okay? And you want the tip to be right here above the scallop row. And then when you do your eyeballs, remember you have the sparkle in your eye, and it does matter which way you have the eyeballs facing. So I thought it looked really cute to have the eyeballs slightly overlapping the nose or the beak, just like that. And you want your two eyeballs to be touching. So my other eyeball would be placed right here so that both of them are just slightly overlapping the very top of the beak. And you don't want the eyeballs overlapping at all, but you do want them to meet right here. Okay, so you would place the other eyeball here. And then I made it so that the eye sparkle was slightly in turn. So the other eyeball, the sparkle would be facing slightly this way as well. Okay, and of course you can see that in the photos that I have available. And then you just sew the ears onto the top. Decide how far over you want it to be. It looks like I would probably do 1, 2, 3, about 4 rows down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then attach it there to the 5th and 6th, or you can move it up. Okay, but you're going to go ahead and then sew the ears onto the top of the hat, and then you're all done. All right, I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. If you did, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I am constantly coming out with new ideas and patterns, so also head over to my blog. The link is in the comments below or in the description below. And make sure that you subscribe to my blog also, because I am also constantly posting new patterns. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.